public service delivery set to grind to a halt as Civil and Local Government Staff Association, CLOSSAG directs all births and deaths registry staff nationwide to stay home today. The strike, triggered by what the union describes as a toxic and lawless work environment under Acting Registrar Samuel Adomboche, threatens to paralyze vital registration services. In a strongly worded letter to the Labour Minister and other state institutions, CLOSSAG accuses Mr. Botre of flouting procedures, disrespecting staff and making unauthorized postings despite previous petitions and a suspended strike in February. Now, let's go to that particular statement. And it says that the National Executive Council of CLOSSAG, at an emergency meeting held on the 28th of March this year, decided to suspend the strike action by the staff of the Civil Service and Local Government Service, and said that the action was to allow the parties to continue engagements towards the closure of the impasse. Now, in that regard, CLOSSAG entreated staff of the Civil Service and the Local Government Service to resume work on 2nd April 2025. Well, joining me now is Public Relations Officer of CLOSSAG, Edmond Akwe, to, give us more insight into their action today. So, Edmond, you describe your boss of a toxic work environment. Particularly, what is he doing?
Thank you very much, and greetings to all your listeners, more especially CLOSSAG members and CLOSSAG within the births and deaths registry. Well, Mr. Samuel Adomboche, the acting registrar for births and deaths position, is a civil service position. So in the first place, when he was appointed to that position, we protested and went on strike to that effect. We were called back to the negotiation table to come and look at issues in there to see how best we can resolve. So we suspended our strike. Being on the negotiation table and we, being law-abiding citizens, we have been going according to what is supposed to be done. Just for us to get the information, just allow us to get the information that Mr. Samuel Adomboche is intimidating workers of the births and deaths registry. He calls himself the lion. Mm-hmm. He's passing verbal abuses to the association, saying that CLOSSAG is foolish. He said, yes, when he was campaigning for government, where was CLOSSAG? Statements. These are statements that are abusive statements to our members and CLOSSAG.
Well, if you talk about intimidation, Mr. Edmond, can you give me a minute here? Intimidation in what format? I mean, in which... I have just stated some of the things that he's doing, calling himself a lion. Who can work with a lion in the office? So is he exhibiting lion traits? In what regard?
He going to the office premises with macho men to intimidate our members. Is that the right work environment that we want? As an association, let's protect the welfare and safety of our members. We cannot guarantee the safety of our members within the births and deaths registry with this act of the acting registrar. In the first place, that is wrongful. In the second place, you don't even have the qualification to be there as a registrar. In the third, you are there intimidating our members, not allowing safety work conditions to go on. The best thing we can do as an association is to tell our members to stay at home. For that matter, the National Executive Council of CLOSSAG held an emergency meeting and came out with this particular decision, informing all our members within the births and deaths registry across the country from today henceforth they should stay at home until the registrar is put to order and his position is reversed, his appointment is reversed.
Well, Edmond, in February you suspended the strike. On which assurances did you suspend the strike?
We suspended the strike because the appointing committee, the Minister for Employment, asked that we should suspend and come to the negotiation table so that we'll see how best to resolve. Only for this man to be at the office to start doing all these abusive, things to our members. We have had several complaints from the outfit that this is what he's doing at the office. And we cannot work with such a person. So our members are supposed to stay at home until that man is removed from the office.
What would you say to people who think that this is also a strategy to get the man out of office, especially when in February you staged the same action, insisting that the man not be, appointed to that office?
We are law-abiding citizens. As a union, we go according to law and order. So when we were called to the table we should sustain our strike, we did. We expect that he, being the acting registrar, should act the right way, not to go and intimidate our members. Otherwise, we wouldn't have, raised our voices again in this manner for us to, call back this. So, he is not acting rightfully in his position.
All right.
So we are appealing to that point. We are appealing to the president. We've written letters all over to the head of service, to the head of services. We've written letters to employment. We've written letters to the Jubilee House to ensure that this man is removed from the office. We cannot allow an institution like F&S that has built its reputation over the years for one person to come and destroy it. We will not allow, we will not sit down as a union to let this go on.
Well, so these acts of intimidation, have they been reported to maybe say the National Labour Council?
Well, these agitations does not go in the line of Labour Council. This agitation is employer-employee, agitation, and we are dealing with the employer directly.
So
the appointment of that particular person is not in the right procedure. What the President Act says is that the President shall, in accordance with Article 95 of the Constitution, appoint the registrar. Now let's go to the Article 95. What does it say? Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the power to appoint persons to hold or to act in an office in the public services shall be vested in the President. We accept that. Yet, acting in accordance with the advice of the Governing Council of the services, ask yourself whether the Governing Council at the time of its appointment was sitting there. He wasn't there.
But Edmond, you admit
the President, let me finish. The President acted without the advice of the Governing Council in the first place.
Yet still.
Secondly, he says that when this Governing Council's advice is taken, it must be given in consultation with the Public Service Commission. This was also not done.
So even so,
that is why we are saying that his appointment is wrongful. Now, qualification towards that particular appointment. It says that a person who is appointed to be the registrar should have civil registration knowledge. His academic qualifications should be in line with civil what? Registration, demography. The person should have those qualifications. Ask yourself whether someone Adumbotri has it. He has one of these certificates.
Edmond, okay.
Yes, there are civil servants in the service. There are civil servants in the service who are right to take those positions because they have those qualifications.
Edmond, your point has been made, but you also agree that the final authority lies with the president to make his decision.
In accordance, please. With the advice and in accordance, those particular
the president has made his decision.
Because
now,
that is what the Constitution is saying. That's why I quoted the Constitution. 195.
I understand what you said.
It is in the president, but there are conditions. And the condition is that it must be done with the advice of the Governing Council. The second one is that it should be in consultation with the Public Service Commission. This was not done, my sister. You should know right from the outset
so Edmond,
breach of procedure has been done.
So Edmond, even if it was done, and the president will still have come to this decision of instituting, right. So you still stand by your position.
Not a politician.
Edmond, let's be civil here. I think you want us to have a decent conversation.
And this registrar should be a civil servant and not a politician, and that is where the bottom line is.
Edmond, I believe you want us to have a decent conversation here.
It's a decent conversation. Don't do that.
Great. So if you'd listen to me and then.
It is what it is, and we are putting out our point. We are telling our members that the working environment is not safe because the lion, being someone that Adumbotri is in the house there, we cannot work with him, and that is our point.
Thank you very much, Edmond Akwe, the Public Relations Officer of CLOSSAG, giving us updates on this strike there.